I'm Janda. I'm the coordinator at the Inverter House. I've been there since 2009 and I run the workshops. And since we've been closed, the webinars, we hope to get back sometime late summer, but we'll probably still continue to do webinars for the immediate future until things settle down. I don't see us doing on-site workshops again for a while. So I will put in the chat, I'll put some links for how to find the Inverter House website if you did not register from there, and how to get registered for future webinars. We have 3 more scheduled in July. We'll be doing one on, and I didn't bring that list up. We'll be doing one on electric vehicles, one on worm composting, and we'll be doing one on how to preserve cucumbers and vegetables by pickling towards the end of the month. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce Preston and hope that a few more get in with us this morning. They may be wanting to just wait and see the recording. Preston Hayden is sales manager with Kleeman Brothers, and he's been doing this work for a very long time. He installed a heat pump at the Inverter House several years ago, not too many years after I started there. So I'm going to introduce Preston. Before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and end the polling because I don't know that we're going to get any more on that. So we had 100% on Facebook. And Preston, did you see that when it popped up? Okay, so I'm going to end the polling. And share the results. And Preston, I'll have you go ahead and introduce yourself and we will get into this.
Excellent. Thanks, Janda. So first off, I want to thank the participants and Tacoma Power and Janda for inviting me to hop on today and share some information on how to keep cool. As Janda mentioned, my name is Preston Hayden. I work for Kleeman Brothers Heating and Air Conditioning, and I have for over 13 years now. I've done anything from sales and helping installs, and now I'm a manager over here. So I appreciate you guys all attending, and I think we can get started. A little bit about Kleeman Brothers too. We're a family-owned local company, been in business since 1998. We have been a preferred contractor with Tacoma for almost maybe that long, and also with the other local utility companies.
So let me interject, and then I'm going to put my screen off. We do have we're trying out today the live transcript for people that have hearing difficulties. And because it is live, if we don't speak slowly enough or enunciate clearly enough or whatever, sometimes it may not show the way it's being pronounced. So Kleeman Brothers is showing as Lehman Brothers in there, just so you know that. It's K-L-I-E-M-A-N-N.
We'll probably get to this next slide then. So yes, it's Kleeman Brothers. It's right here. So this is the first slide here. Cool It Home Cooling Solutions, brought to you by Tacoma Power and Kleeman Brothers Heating and Air Conditioning. So the Mercury is rising. The Pacific Northwest appears to be in a warming trend. Seattle recorded one of the hottest years in 2018. Four of the 5 hottest summers occurred in the past 7 years. Obviously, with this weekend, I think we'll be shattering records, and so it only seems to be getting hotter and longer period here in Washington. Plant a tree. Tree shade is a negative carbon footprint source of cooling on a hot summer day. There are some no-cost or low-cost ways to cool your home. Open a window in the cool morning or evening and turn on kitchen bathroom fans to draw in the cool air. So you can open windows or doors in the evening or in the mornings and turn on a exhaust fan, and it will cause your house to go into negative pressure, which will pull in outside air and exhaust it out that bathroom fan or laundry fan or your microwave or range venting. Closed drapes, blinds during day where sunlight is direct. So it's always good to be kind of ahead of things and keeping the blinds closed on the west facing side of the home in the morning and the east side of the home during the evenings, and also the southern side for the majority of the day to just help block the sunlight and solar gain coming into the home. Use portable and ceiling fans to move air. So down here, you'll see a slide that in the summertime, you want your fan set on counterclockwise. What that will do is pull heat up, and then in the wintertime, go counterclockwise, which will push heat down. So hot air rises, cool air settles. So that's always something to kind of keep in mind with your fan is make sure it's on the right setting depending on the time of year. Then we have the next poll. How do you cool your home currently?
Let me close that one, pull up the next one.
While we're waiting on that, there is a chat box. If anyone has any questions along the way, please just go ahead and write a chat and we'll get to those questions.
Okay, so I am not getting the second poll to come up right this second. Why don't you keep talking and I will hunt for it here.
All right, we'll get back to that. All right, next slide. This is a medium cost ways to cool the home. Adding an exterior shades to keep sunlight from penetrating into the living space. Window air conditioners or attic fans. We also have options as window and portable AC units, and this will be a brief slide on the pros and cons of window and portable ACs. They're ideal for single rooms. They're inexpensive, roughly $200 to $600 if you could find them at your local store, Walmart or Home Depot, Lowe's and whatnot. I have heard a lot of rumblings that a lot of stores are currently sold out. But that could be an inexpensive way to find a portable AC for $200 to $600. The cons are they're noisy, can compromise the safety of a window, and something else to keep in mind is not only the window, but your home, being that the window has to be open. Some people are concerned about burglary or breaking in and whatnot. So obviously be sure when that window isn't being supervised to make sure it's securely locked or something like that to help with that. Takes up valuable room in the space of the home with a portable AC. They're expensive to operate. Potential condensate challenges. So air conditioning does condensate, and you'll see on the right-hand side here that there is a bucket. That's where the condensation typically needs to drain into either a bucket. Some portable ACs will have a drain pan inside of the unit that will frequently have to be drained, or some people will hook up to it and figure out a way to gravity slope that condensation outside. And then no air filtration. So I wouldn't say there's no air filtration. There's minimal air filtration. It's mainly just to protect the unit. It's just an extremely very basic screen that's on it. And that's basically meant to protect the unit from getting dust and dirt on the indoor coil, which would possibly affect the operation and efficiency. Outside air quality. As everyone knows, that we've had a lot of West Coast fires in the past few summers that have caused major air quality issues. and windows cannot be opened to provide cooling relief at those times because the indoor air quality is so bad. This slide that talks about indoor air quality. Obviously, over the last year and a half now, this has been an extremely big focus for HVAC companies because we've had a huge demand from our customers requesting it. There are several different devices that we can install in your home to help out with indoor air quality. And the central AC solution provides the most efficiency filtration options. You can go from electronic air cleaners, media filters, and then you have your just standard 1-inch filter. You also have a 1-inch throwaway filter. And something that we also are able to do, and has gotten more popular over the last few years, is install hospital-graded UV lights to help kill bacteria. Ductless AC solutions provide limited air filtration options. They have a small washable filter that's just meant, again, kind of like that portable AC, just to protect the unit, not necessarily catch big airborne particles that are in the airstream. We do have the hospital grade UV lights that we can install in Ductless that would help, though, with indoor air quality. Portable AC solutions provide zero air filtration. Window AC solutions provide zero air filtration. Higher cost solutions, air conditioning options. So in our world, in Cleveland Brothers world, we do two different options for air conditioning. We have central ducted systems that would tie on to a system, or possibly in the event that it's older equipment may have to be replaced with like a furnace or an air handler. It basically ties into a ducted system. So if you have vents inside your house, the central AC ducted unit is most popular. For homes that don't currently have ductwork or bad ductwork or for additions or remodels, ductless systems seem to be a popular solution. So we offer both those here at Cleveland Brothers. Rising summer temps and deteriorating summer air quality is making AC less of a luxury item and more of a necessity from Pacific Northwest. We find that a lot here in Cleveland Brothers. We do primarily, we're about 50% or so new construction, and then 50% retrofit replacement or add-ons. And we find a lot of our new construction builders now, it's gotten more common that we're installing AC at new construction. So it is something to kind of keep in mind. It's becoming more and more popular because of the rising temperatures. Slide on air conditioning magic. This is a kind of a brief description of how an AC works. It is similar to a refrigerator. So picture your home as a refrigerator. There is an outside compressor filled with liquid, a liquid called a refrigerant. That liquid changes back and forth between a liquid and a gas. As it changes, it absorbs or releases heat. This process removes heat from the inside and releases it to the outside, the box. Basically, the outdoor unit releases the heat. So the best way to think about it is it works similar to a refrigerator, where the compressor will, and the indoor coil will capture your heat and take that heat outside and then release that heat outside, which then drops the temperature of your home. And to get even more technical, what it really is doing is grabbing not just the heat, but the humidity inside your home, which the humidity drops, the temperature drops, and you'll be more comfortable. So that's how the AC works.
So let me just interject a second and tell people, if you have questions, put them in the Q&A or in the chat, and we'll make sure that Preston gets a chance to answer them. And if you have something that's complicated, we can, at the end, we can set it so you can ask that question verbally. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Jenda, for saying that. Yeah, we're here to help. So if you have questions, please ask away in the chat box, or at the end, we'll have a time allowed for Q&A, and I'll also have our company information that we'll provide at the end also, in case you need to give us a call or send us an email. So thank you. So next slide, it will be the central ducted air conditioning. So this will be a brief overview of ducted air conditioning. Central ducted air conditioning, best for large homes and homes with existing ductwork, whole home heating and cooling solution, optional whole house filtration systems, and efficiency drops with leaky ductwork. So yeah, just a quick overview on that. The efficiency drops with leaky ductwork, that's all stuff that we can handle too at Cleaner Brothers, is sealing or insulating or replacing of ductwork. But it's something that we evaluate when we come out to your home for the free estimate. It's definitely something that if we find any issues, we will address it. We'll bring it up to you. We'll show pictures and videos. But if you're a newer home, you know, hopefully more than likely, most of the time, ductwork is in good condition. Ductless heat pump. So this is best for homes or smaller homes and additions. Thermostat controls temperature for specific areas. So a little overview on that. With the ductless solution, it's not only just gotten popular for smaller homes and additions, we're actually finding that we have some large homes that we're doing a lot more ductless in. And the reason for that is it gives you an individual controlled, or gives you the opportunity to individually control certain areas of your home. So you basically have a zoning. So if you're not using a room, why heat it or cool it is kind of the idea. It saves you money to have ductless, even in larger homes, because if you're in the living room, why are you cooling, or why are you paying to cool or heat your master bedroom? So it's gotten popular for zoning and also because of cost to operate. It's a very efficient way to cool and heat a home. But it is, you know, very cost-effective way to do it in smaller homes that don't have ductwork. Ductless mini splits. So there's hundreds of different brands, but this is what it looks like. So you have an outdoor unit that would sit like a normal compressor or condenser would be, you know, outside. This right here that looks like a gutter. This is actually a protective cover that covers our line set. So not only is it more aesthetically pleasing, you can paint it and whatnot, but it also protects the refrigerant line that we run. That refrigerant line is insulated, but this still gives it extra protection. You have the unit that sits on a pad, and you'll see some mounting rails that the unit sits on too. This would be an electrical disconnect. So that covers the outdoor unit, which was this guy here. And this would be an indoor unit, and the thermostat or the handheld remote. These indoor units come in all sorts of different styles, shapes, colors. The original units looked similar to this 40 plus years ago, but as the popularity in the United States, they've changed the design. They do have options for sleeker looking and colored. Also have ceiling cassette ones. They have low wall mount units that would look like a kind of like a low wall radiator. They have horizontal ducted units, but there's a full line of ductless mini splits that you don't have to do the wall mounts. It just seems to be the most cost-effective way to do ductless. Ductless heat pump for space cooling. Provides heating and cooling as a benefit, and significantly heating cost savings while providing AC. So when we're running into homes where we're dealing with cadet heat, baseboard heat, electric furnaces, That's one of the most expensive ways that you can heat a home. So installing a ductless can definitely save you money on heating. And then the plus side of it is you also get cooling during those summer months. More efficient than other common HVAC systems, proven technology. So this technology is definitely not new. Like I mentioned earlier, it's 40 plus years, probably going on 50 plus years now. Mainly been used overseas 40, 50 years ago. A big popularity in Europe and the Asian continent because a lot of those homes didn't have ductwork, a lot of sky rises and stuff like that, where ductless just seemed to be more suitable for the application. Mitsubishi and Ductless technology has come over to the United States and really caught on, I would say probably in the last 10 to 15 years, popularity because a main push has been in the Northwest is we were actually part of a pilot program with Pacific Northwest Ductless and they were offering incentives and started getting involved with local utility companies to promote the product. And it's been a great option. It's got flexible design, whole house solutions, specific zones, and combination ducted and ductless. So you can go anywhere from one outdoor unit to one indoor unit, all the way up to one outdoor unit and 8 indoor units. And you can do a mix and match where earlier I was saying they have the wall mount units that are high wall. You can actually do a high wall in one area like the main living area. And if you have an attic or crawl space, you can do a horizontal ducted unit and duct into 2, 3, possibly even 4 bedrooms. And all those refrigerant lines go out to one outdoor unit that controls it. And you have 2 different thermostats. Combination mini split, this will kind of explain that too. Multiple head systems offer flexibility to add heating and cooling to any area. So you can see in this setup, it's showing, wall mount here, you're cooling and heating this space. There's a unit in this room to heat and cool this space, and a unit in each one of these rooms with a ducted unit. So you have a ducted system that's blowing hot air and cold air into this area. So it gives you the flexibility to mix and match and still, be efficient and comfortable. So definitely a lot of options with whole house solution. At first, when we started bringing them in the United States and offering them, it seemed like they're more popular for just single zone. And this has definitely been catching on too because of the benefits. Air conditioning efficiency. So,
okay. Preston, before you get further into that, we had a question on whether you'll be covering basic costs of each types.
Yeah, I at the end, I can go over some variable. There's obviously a lot of variabilities with the pricing depending on the application. So yeah, we can go ahead and go over that real quick now.
Then we had an earlier question on recommending portable units. So maybe you can either answer or not answer that at the end too. So
sure. So if everyone doesn't mind, I'll get to all the questions at the end here, and I'll kind of be done probably in the next 10, 15 minutes, and we can go on to those questions. So air conditioning efficiency. The air conditioning efficiency is rated on a SEER rating. So the SEER is the seasonal energy efficiency factor. Basically, the miles per gallon is the SEER equivalent for ACs. You measure cooling efficiency this way. The higher the number, the better. Minimal federal standard at this moment is 13 SEER. There's been a lot of talks that they're going to raise that up to a higher SEER down the road. They really evaluate that every 5 or 10 years, and we're coming up on that time where they'll probably be raising that to a higher SEER. Energy Star requires a 14 SEER minimum. Over here, you'll see an annual savings for cooling your home based on the efficiency of the match system. So here's a quick verbiage there, but like miles per gallon in a car, the higher the SEER or the system SEER rating, the more comfortable you will get the more comfort you will get for each energy dollar. So there'll be a chart, and And so going from 13 SEER to 14 SEER is a 17% energy jump, and so on and so forth, going up to about 20, 25, 27 SEER is about the most efficient AC you're going to get on the market right now. Technology improvements, variable speed fans, efficiency and comfort. So variable speed fans would be the indoor unit blowing air either into a ducted system, or the ductless unit blowing variable speed fan into the space. It's the traditional way was single stage, which would be like a light switch on or off. A variable speed technology would be more of like a dimmer switch. The thermostat will speed it up or slow it down to provide better efficiency and comfort for the home. Not only that, but quietness too. They're a lot quieter for the variable speed fans on the indoor units. Inverter drive compressors, efficiency. So the variable speed fan would be the indoor unit blowing air into the home. The inverter drive compressor is basically a variable speed compressor on the outdoor unit. Benefits for you would be efficiency and comfort and quietness also. So again, the outdoor compressor can speed up or slow down, match the indoor fan that can speed up or slow down and provide better efficiency, comfort, and quietness. And best way to kind of think about that, it's kind of like a cruise control on a car. Say you're on the freeway going 65 miles an hour, you're actually getting the best miles per gallon typically, the less wear and tear on the equipment versus a car driving around stop and go in city traffic. So you can kind of use that as old technology versus new technology. Single stage compressors, single stage fans are like that car driving stop and go in city traffic. The variable speed fan inverter compressor is like cruise control on the freeway.
So I don't know if that answered the question, but we did have one when you started the slide on what does the efficiency level depend on the most?
I'm sorry, how does the efficiency what?
What does the efficiency level depend on the most?
There's efficiency. There's several factors with the efficiency. The higher the SEER, the more efficient you're going to be. But there's a lot of variables with that. All manufacturers have a full line of products. So the efficiency, you know, depending on like the duct work, sizing of the equipment, you know, there's just a lot of variables that come into the efficiency. But the higher the efficiency, the more you're going to save. We're going to get into more of that upcoming on one of the slides when I start talking about heat pumps. That will actually be the most efficient way to heat and cool the home. I don't know if that answers the question. I can't see the chat box, but if we have to continue that conversation, I'll give my email or phone number at the end. So to I guess piggyback off that with efficiency, as you get into this technology, the equipment does become more efficient because it's able to better slow down and speed up the compressor and the fan to maintain temperature. So you can see right here, there's inverter technology, how variable speed inverter technology works. Set temperature. So this would be the line of set temperature. And then this right here would be inverter. As you get closer to maintaining the temperature that you're wanting inside your home with the speed of the compressor and the speed of the fan versus non-inverter type, which is more extremes. And I would say this is closer to the desired temp than this graph kind of shows. Where usually can maintain 1 to 2 degree difference at the max with inverter technology. Obviously, days like this weekend, we were not going to be able to maintain 1 to 2 degrees because we're in an extremely high, higher than normal heat wave. But single stage is on and off, which is a lot more temperature swings, because what happens is the compressor turns on or the furnace turns on, and it will heat up the home. It typically will overshoot the desired temperature inside the home. The equipment will shut off. The temperature of your home will start going down. The thermostat will call for heat or cool, and the system will need to turn back on. So you get a lot of up and downs where the variable speed is on more than it's off. So it's usually pretty close to desired set temp. Sometimes even the manuals will say within a 0.5 degrees of the thermostat. So definitely a lot more comfort and efficiency and quietness because of that with that inverter. This would be a design of a side discharge inverter technology compressor. Trane was actually the first to manufacture one that was unitary product, so a ducted system that was approved within the Seattle city limits, which is one of the strictest sound enforcements in the country. Trane was approved first out of every manufacturer of being able to install theirs because of the quietness of the unit. This application, 0 lot lines, so a lot of requirements. Even in city of Tacoma, in some applications, you have to require 5.5 feet from the outside edge of a traditional outdoor unit to your property line. Well, as houses get built on smaller lots, makes it very challenging to install outdoor units unless we're able to put them in the back side of the house. So yeah, there's 0 lot lines with these. You can install them on rooftop, multifamily and condos, you know, and so on and so forth. But that right here, anywhere with space constraints, City of Tacoma enforces setback codes. So that'd be a 5.5 foot setback from the outside edge of the unit to the property line is what City of Tacoma requires when we're placing these outdoor units. Inverter technology compressors like the Ductless, because it's so quiet, we actually are able to put them on the side of homes even without the 5.5 setback. These are some more pictures of some installations. These units are on wall brackets. It's not common practice to put them on wall brackets in our area. I try to avoid wall brackets if at all costs, and would rather put them on a pad on the ground. You know, there is wall brackets. There are vibration corks that we put underneath the unit onto that bracket and on the bracket to the house. But these units do vibrate, and you can get possibly sound because that bracket attaches to the studs inside the wall of your home. So I try to avoid the wall brackets if at all possible, because you can get noise, vibration coming inside the home. So I like to put them on a pad if possible, but you can put them on wall brackets. Shopping for equipment. There's hundreds of brands of different equipment out there. So you can choose from many brands. I would say that as much as you guys focus on brands, focus on the company installing it, because you can buy the best thing in the world, but if it's not installed correctly, or if the company goes out of business or isn't able to service you on a weekend or stand behind their workmanship, that kind of defeated the whole purpose of the brand thing. So brand is important, but as much time that you're spending on researching brand, I would research on companies. You can use Better Business Bureau, you can use Google, you can use the MyTPU website to look at their preferred contractors. There's a lot of sources for consumers to research companies right now. And I can't stress enough, with how busy companies are in the last year or two, it's brought up opportunities where we've had a lot of startup companies. And unfortunately, sometimes those companies will go out of business during a recession or when times get tough. So do look for a well-established company that's been around for a while, so that you know that someone will be there to warranty and service you down the road in the event that you do have any issues. But yeah, primary products that we focus on here at Cleveland Brothers are Trane. Trane's been around for over 100 years. It's American made. It's been a really good proven product. Always ranked high with Consumer Reports. It's also been ranked America's most trustworthy product. I think it's about 6 or 7 years in a row for HVAC. The other brands, we have access to all these brands, but the other brand that we carry a lot of and do a lot of are Mitsubishi. It's been a very good ductless solution, but they've actually gotten into the ducted solution also. And there's been a merger actually between Mitsubishi and Trane. They're on a joint venture right now. And that's been probably about 3 to 5 years they've been on a joint venture. So, but yeah, there's other popular brands, you know, Carrier's a popular one. You know, you got Fujitsu's and Daikin's. But yeah, just do your research. The warranty term and coverage is important. You know, Mitsubishi offers up to a 12-year parts and compressor warranty. And we offer extended warranties that you can purchase for up to that same amount of time. Trane's kind of the same thing. You can have 10-year parts warranty on all Trane products, and up to, you can purchase an extended warranty. It's like buying a car. You know, you have your factory warranty that covers the parts, but if you want to cover labor, all reputable companies should be at least give you an option to purchase an extended labor warranty. But Trane's always ranked really high with Consumer Reports with reliability, and we're a very reputable company, and we want to represent a reputable brand. So that's why we partnered up with Trane for about 20 years now. Actually, more than 20. So.
I did add the poll question, which I had put in, but apparently I didn't save. So I put that in the chat in case anybody wants to answer it on how you heat and cool your, primarily how you cool your home now. So if anybody wants to put that in the chat, how you do it, that would be great. And I will add the Tacoma Power contact information here in a minute and get the other 2 questions that just came in to Preston after he finishes this slide.
Yeah, so we're just about done. We're wrapping it up here. So heat pumps do it all. So that is, if you can take anything out of today's meeting, I would say ask the contractor if you're or that you're having come out to your house, at least talk to you and give you pricing on heat pumps. We've been huge on heat pumps for 20 plus years. A heat pump is going to cool your house exactly like an air conditioner. It is an air conditioner. I've been down to the factories, Trane's made down there in Tyler, Texas. I've been to the York and Coleman factory back in Wichita, Kansas. Those pieces of equipment go down the same process for assembly as the heat pumps do as the AC. So they are an air conditioner. What they're a little bit different as they go a little bit further down the assembly line, and they have a reversing valve put into them. So they're going to take care of your house during the summertime, but what happens during the wintertime is it can reverse that cycle. So where we've talked about an AC is kind of like a refrigerator, it's a dehumidifier. It will grab your heat from inside your home during the summer months and take it out and drop the temperature of your home. It can flip that role during the wintertime where it will actually capture heat from outside and bring it inside to heat your home. And it's a lot more efficient because you're using the outside environment to actually grab the heat. You're using a compressor and a fan just to push the heat inside your home. So that's where your electricity usage will go up on electricity slightly, depending on your application. But in most situations, your utility bill will drop significantly during the fall and winter months. Heat pumps are a much better investment opportunity than an air conditioner. The way that I explain it to homeowners is an AC. Customer will simply purchase it for comfort. It's something that they purchase. They want to be comfortable. They want to sleep at night. And whatnot. They make that investment for 2-3 months out of the year, and then that box just sits there outside and doesn't do anything else for you for 8 to 9 months out of the year. The heat pump will cool your home during the summer months, but then save you money on the winter months. So that's the best way to look at that. price differences, there really isn't a whole lot of price difference between the two, an AC and a heat pump. You basically might accrue the cost of a new programmable thermostat because you do have to have different controllers in most applications. Then we most of the time can't reuse the old thermostat. So yeah, it will reduce your heating bill and provide cooling in the summer. Heat pumps are used all year long. So again, I can't stress enough, I would really focus on heat pumps. This is the absolute best climate in the United States for a heat pump. We are very mild during the winter time. We can heat typically with heat pumps down to about a 30 to 35 degree outside temperature without a backup source. And when we get below 30, 35 degrees, we have a backup source that kicks on. So whether it's an electric furnace or a gas furnace, something will kick on to help supplement the heat on those extreme days. But 90% of our heating hours are above, that set temp of 30, 35 degrees. Does this cost to heat? So this will kind of explain what I was just kind of talking about. You have the annual or the average annual heating cost per million BTUs. So the best way to think about a million BTUs of heat, the average home will burn a million BTUs every, say, 3 or 4 days during the winter time. So starting over here from the left, the most expensive heating source that you could use is an oil furnace. That's going to cost you big time. It costs you about $50 to $55 roughly every 3 to 4 days. Obviously, there's a lot of variables, but that's an average. Propane is the second most expensive, $38 roughly every 3 to 4 days during the wintertime. Electric furnace, this would be electric furnace only. It would cost you roughly $31 every 3 to 4 days. Electric zone heating, that would be cadet heat, baseboard heat, any electric zone mat heating. I know there's some houses in Tacoma, not very many, but they'll have an electric radiant zone mat system, and that will cost you around $22 every 3 to 4 days. Pellet stoves, around $16 every 3 to 4 days. Natural gas furnace at a rating of 92% efficient is roughly $14 every 3 to 4 days. An Energy Star heated heat pump, roughly $10 every 3 to 4 days. And a ductless heat pump, roughly $9 every 3 to 4 days. I know we just kind of covered a lot, but basically the moral of the story is heat pumps are the most efficient way that you can heat your home. The only one that would be probably more efficient than an inverter technology compressor, so like that ductless, or the one right next to it, which is this one right here. This is just a 14 or 13. This is a 14 SEER outdoor unit. It's $10. You can get inverter technology compressors, the higher end train equipment, that'd be similar to this cost. The only thing that might be a little bit more efficient than that would be geothermal. It's just not a very cost-effective way to do it in our area typically, because of the advancement of inverter air source technology. These seem to be more popular than geothermal. We have done geothermal systems in the past, but it is a very expensive way to get set up. Cheap to operate, very, very expensive. $40,000, $50,000 to get set up with a geothermal system typically. Okay, so now into the good stuff. There are rebates on these systems. Tacoma Power heat pump program does offer a ductless heat pump rebate. It's either a rebate or 0% financing, one or the other. So you get up to a $500 rebate, or you can get up to a $4,000 0% loan through TPU. I believe that is a 7-year loan through TPU. And I think it breaks down to the $4,000. Janda, can you chime in on that a little bit?
As far as I know, it is, I think, a 7-year loan, no interest. And then it's just, I think, averaged out on your utility bill in addition to your heating costs. That's just basically paying for the furnace. But that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, so they just add it to your Tacoma Power electric bill, and then you'll have. Obviously, it's up to $4,000. Our typical system is going to cost more than $4,000, but it definitely still helps, to be more cost effective to get it installed, because a lot of our homeowners doing ductless, they're saving more on their utility bill than their payments of the system.
Yeah, but you do have to be a Tacoma Power customer to take advantage of that.
Yep, good point. Yeah, so these are all for Tacoma Power electric heated homes. Yeah, so then we got the central heat pump system. That is a little bit larger rebate. That's up to $1,000 rebate or up to a $10,000 0% loan through TPU. You must be a Tacoma Power customer. Check program requirements and specifications prior to purchase or install. Contractor with Tacoma Power, and there's several others also. But the rebates, we will qualify you for it. We will give you that amount off of the proposal. You don't have to worry about processing the paperwork. We'll process it. What we will need from you is an approval, basically a signature on the paperwork to submit to Tacoma Power. But then you're not having to worry about processing all the paperwork. We'll do that for you. The loan, that does take more involvement for you. Obviously, there's financial information that they need and whatnot. So the loan, we can still help assist you, but I know Tacoma Power also has several people that would be able to help with the loan.
And I put that information in the chat. I put this link in the chat, and I also put the phone number and the email for Tacoma Power. And one of the easy ways to find all this information, if you go to mytpu.org /ways to save, and that's got hyphens in it, WAYS -2 spelled out TO-save. You can find links to all of this. You can find the links to the rebates and how to find a contractor and which contractors are approved, certified by Tacoma Power, that they are familiar with the program and know what they're doing. And it, as Preston said, it does have to be a participating contractor to get the rebate. So that's all in the chat. And if you're ready for the questions,
I was going to say one last thing with the Tacoma Power rebate. Not only is there Tacoma Power that offers rebates or financing, but a lot of manufacturers and contractors like Cleveland Brothers, there could possibly be other incentives. There could be other instant rebates or 0% financing. There's a lot. There's depending on, I don't get too involved in this, but Department of Energy has a tax credit. There's a lot of, this is a good time to buy stuff, with all the incentives and rebates. I would say, obviously with the weather this weekend, a lot of HVAC companies are completely slammed. And there has been a global issue with availability, not just on HVAC equipment, but across the board, all components. So if you're really wanting to get this done this summer, I would definitely have people come out and give you some pricing. Everyone should be offering to give you a free estimate. I know we do. So.
Right. And Tacoma Power, as that slide that you just passed over, also has rebates on windows and heat pump water heaters, and another number of other things. You can find those on that ways to save list as well. And of course, anything you do to improve your windows or insulation or those kind of factors will also help with the heating and the cooling. So keep that in mind. If you can pull up the chat, Preston, about halfway down after I put the question in, if you can see that on your screen. If not, I can just read these off, but it does have the questions that we had that came in.
I'm sorry, I'm not on my Q&A. I'm not seeing it.
When, this is under the chat, when getting a central air unit, do you get rid of your furnace?
So no, not if you're doing the traditional ducted system. So sorry, I'm going to scroll up here real quick. If you're doing a unit that's right here, a central ducted unit, this is a two-piece equipment. So you have an outdoor unit. So down here, you have an outdoor unit that sits there outside, and then there's a refrigerant line that goes into an indoor unit. That indoor unit could be propane, it could be natural gas, it could be electric, but you do have an indoor unit that blows air into a ducted system, which then goes to the vents. So if you were doing a, if you have a ducted system now and you wanted to continue using it, then no, it doesn't get rid of the indoor unit. We would just either add on to it, depending on the age, or replace it with a new one. Or there's slide 2, outdoor unit, indoor unit, and then this is all duct work that goes into each one of the vents inside the rooms. Ductless would get rid of duct work if you had problems with duct work, or you want to be the absolute most efficient, have zoning and all that, then, or if you didn't have duct work, or an addition, a bonus, stuff like that, this is a popular route. This doesn't require duct work. It's a indoor unit that would mount on a wall, a refrigerant line then that would go out to an outdoor unit that would either cool, or like this is a heat pump. They have ductless ACs too. They just aren't very popular because just the benefits of the heat pump. So it would heat and cool your home. This unit right here, you can see this would blow air into your home, and then there's a return air that sucks the air back in through the system. So it's a closed loop system, which just blows air into the home, sucks it back in, and blows right back out. It's getting the heating and cooling from the refrigerant line going back and forth.
Okay.
I might open up some more questions.
Yeah, let me figure out where my chat window went. Okay, there had been a question earlier on if you could recommend some type of a portable unit. What would you recommend if people are not able to get into to afford or get into the ductless or the whole house?
Yeah, I honestly, I mean, I don't know a lot about the portable ACs. I don't know if there would be a whole lot difference between the different models. I would probably try to use the internet and look at consumer reports to look at the different brands and look at the ratings of the different brands. They're all sized in BTUs. So probably for a if I was in a portable AC unit, I'd be looking for the largest BTU unit if it was me. When I say BTUs, that's the output of the cooling. So the higher the BTUs, basically the more it's going to be able to cool. So I know a lot of them are only like 12 or 15,000 BTUs, which if you look at like the manual, like from the portable ACs, I was looking at one yesterday. They say that's good for a room that's about 500 square feet. Obviously, with high temperatures like we are going to experience this weekend and next week, your heat inside your home is even higher. Basically, the heat gain is higher than a typical day. So what that means is you need more BTUs of cooling. So it's possible that even one of those 12 or 15,000 BTU portable ACs might only keep, say, 300 square feet cool this weekend. But yeah, I would just look on the internet and do some of your own research. I've heard, there's LG, there's all sorts of different brands. So I don't know if there's really a big difference on those, because there's not a company installing it. So it's just the product really. So.
Okay, we had one other one following up on the furnace question. Can you use your old furnace, or do you need a new one to connect to your heat pump for a ducted system?
Very good question. So there's some variables there. depending on the age of the equipment. If you looked on the internet, they say the average lifespan of a furnace is typically between 12 and 15 years. So when we go into an application as advisors and we go out and we see a furnace that is more than, say, 10 years old, we would make a recommendation to replace it at that time. There are several reasons for that. In a lot of applications in the Northwest, furnaces are in the garage and the ductwork is in under the house, which what that means is a downflow furnace. So when we're adding an AC or a heat pump, go up the slide, when we're adding an outdoor unit, this guy right here, this is an upflow furnace. So this would be more of an application. Usually we find this in the Midwest, but in the Northwest, the furnace is usually in the garage and all the ductwork is underneath. Basically, we have to remove your furnace in order to put the coil underneath it and reinstall your furnace. So what I'm getting at is you're basically paying for labor of replacing the furnace at that time because it's the same amount of labor to do a AC change out with an existing furnace in difference of just replacing it at that time. So it's usually most cost effective if you're a furnace that's 10 years or older to just replace that furnace at that time because you're getting into that lifespan expectancy of it. You're also run into other factors where, like, when you get down here and look at rebates, those are on qualifying systems. So a lot of times that is requiring us to replace sometimes the furnace, not in all applications, but sometimes in order to get to the efficiency that Tacoma Power, sorry, I'm down here, to qualify for the Tacoma Power efficiency. A lot of times that requires replacing out that furnace. You're also going to be limited with your existing furnace. Most furnaces are single stage. So when you do when you have a single stage outdoor unit, the best you're ever going to be able to do is a single stage outdoor unit with a single stage compressor. So there's just a lot of factors that go into play. So yes, we can sometimes reuse the existing furnace. It's just sometimes maybe it's not recommended to. But if your furnace is under 10 years old and you're okay with just doing single stage technology, yeah, we should be able to use your existing furnace.
Okay. Well, I don't see any more questions coming in. If anyone has anything else you need to ask, this would be the time. And I have repeated Preston's contact information in there. At the end, Tacoma Power's information is in there. And as mentioned earlier, at the beginning of the chat, the Inverter House website and the links for seeing the recorded versions. This has been recorded and it will be up online probably in a week or so, depending on our media department and how fast they can get to it. It will be posted on the Inverter House website workshop page where you can register for additional workshops, and it will be on the city's YouTube channel, along with all the other ones that we've done, the webinars that we've done in the last year. So check that out.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say real quick, there is a QR code here. So if you guys have further questions, I'm available too. You can scan this. This will take you to, you can take it, just pull your phone out, and like how they have the new menus now, you pull your phone over it and put your camera on, and that will send you to a link of Cleveland Brothers. If you guys do have any questions, feel free to send us in. You can either chat to us on our website or send an email to us, or you could always call the office. You can get that phone number from our website. Again, my name is Preston, so I really appreciate Tacoma Power for letting me be part of this, and appreciate you guys hopping on. If anyone has any questions, feel free to contact me or Cleveland Brothers in general, or obviously Tacoma Power would be able to help too.
Okay, and then check back with us for future webinars, and we will talk to you all later. We are going to end this now. And so, Preston, if you have any questions, you and I can touch base. Because if I end the webinar, then you and I are off.
That's fine. I appreciate you, Jenda, for helping me out today and inviting me to this. And yeah, thank you.
Okay, well, thank you for doing this, and we'll talk to you later.
Everyone stay cool.
All right, bye, everyone.
Okay.